It is important for workers to understand the risks associated with heat stress to ensure they will be aware of such risks and participate actively in their prevention. Employers should also be informed about those risks, but even more so, of how to protect workers. Here are some recommendations for employers. Employers should take the following steps to protect workers from heat stress. Schedule maintenance and repair jobs in hot areas for cooler months. Schedule hot jobs for the cooler times of the day. Acclimatize workers by exposing them progressively to longer periods in hot work environments. Reduce the physical demands of workers. Use extra workers for physically demanding jobs. Provide cool water or liquids to workers while avoiding drinks with caffeine, alcohol, or large amounts of sugar. Provide rest periods with water breaks. Provide cool, shaded areas for use during break periods. Monitor workers who are at risk of heat stress. Provide heat stress training that includes information about worker risk, prevention, symptoms, the importance of monitoring yourself and coworkers for symptoms, treatment, and first aid for heat stress. Workers should avoid exposure to extreme heat, sun exposure, and high humidity when possible. When these exposures cannot be avoided, workers should take the following steps to prevent heat stress. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting, breathable clothing such as cotton. Avoid non-breathing synthetic clothing. Gradually build up to heavy work. Schedule heavy work during the coolest parts of the day. Take more breaks in extreme heat and humidity. Take breaks in the shade or a cool area when possible. Drink water frequently even if you are not thirsty. Drink enough water so that you never become thirsty. Avoid drinks with caffeine, alcohol, and anything that contains large amounts of sugar. Be aware that protective clothing or personal protective equipment may increase the risk of heat stress. Monitor your physical condition and that of your coworkers. If you feel any of the symptoms of heat stress, take a break and make sure to cool down before you go back to work. Seek medical help if symptoms do not get better. The Occupational Health and Safety Administration is an agency within the United States Department of Labor, created in 1970 under the Occupational Safety and Health Act. The agency is charged with the prevention of work-related sickness, injury, or death. This is achieved through the enforcement of a number of regulations regarding workplace conditions and employer responsibilities. Under the Occupational Safety and Health Act, states are allowed to create their own occupational safety and health plans, as long as they cover public employees and provide, at a minimum, the same standards as federal OSHA regulations. Following this lead, 24 states, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands have created their own plans, the vast majority of which adopt standards identical to the federal government. However, in a few instances, states have gone above and beyond, drafting their own regulations on specific issues. Unfortunately, federal regulations do not include standards specific to the prevention of heat stress or heat-related illnesses. What the federal standards do include are the General Duty Clause of the Occupational Safety and Health Act Section 501 and a number of standards relating specifically to agricultural work. Under the General Duty Clause, employers shall furnish to each of his employees employment and a place of employment that are free from recognized hazards that are causing or are likely to cause death or serious physical harm to his employees. Employers shall comply with occupational safety and health standards promulgated under this Act. The courts have interpreted OSHA's General Duty Clause to mean that an employer has a legal obligation to provide a workplace free of conditions or activities that either the employer or industry recognizes as hazardous and that cause, or are likely to cause, death or serious physical harm to employees when there is a feasible method to abate the hazard. This includes heat-related hazards that are likely to cause death or serious bodily harm. OSHA's job is to make sure that every worker has a safe and healthy workplace. Under the law, every worker has the right to be safe at work. Immigration status does not affect this right. You may file a complaint with OSHA if you believe a violation of a safety or health standard, or an imminent danger situation, exists in your workplace. You may request that your name not be revealed to your employer. You can file a complaint on OSHA's website, in writing or by telephone to the nearest OSHA area office. You may also call the office and speak with an OSHA compliance officer about a hazard, violation, or the process for filing a complaint. If you file a complaint, you have the right to find out OSHA's action on the complaint and request a review if an inspection is not made. A worker or worker representative can file a complaint about a safety or health hazard in the workplace. OSHA's Whistleblower Protection Program enforces the provisions of more than 20 federal laws protecting employees from retaliation for, among other things, raising or reporting concerns about hazards or violations of various workplace safety and health, aviation safety, commercial motor carrier, consumer product, environmental, financial reform, food safety, health insurance reform, motor vehicle safety, nuclear, pipeline, public transportation agency, railroad, maritime, securities, tax, antitrust, and anti-money laundering laws. Employees who believe that they have experienced retaliation in violation of one of these laws may file a complaint with OSHA.